That was Sister Rosetta Tharp with Didn't It Rain? Welcome to the review for November 22nd to November 29th, 2022. Before we begin this review, family and friends are looking for your help in locating Erman Tyler. Erman may be in need of medical attention as he did not have his required medications with him. He was last seen on Saturday on the 7600 block of South Crandon in South Shore. He is 5 foot 10 inches and weighs about 135 pounds, with brown eyes and a brown reddish tinted short afro with a scruffy beard. He has a scar on the back of his head and a small bald spot in his hairline just above his forehead. Erman was last seen wearing a coat with camouflage, green on top and black on bottom, black and gray jogging pants, and tan Timberland boots. He is known to hang out around Hyde Park, downtown Chicago, and Calumet Heights. Anyone with information is asked to contact Area 2 Police at 312-747-8274 or call 911. And now to the news. On Friday, 41-year-old Kristen Carr passed away following a shooting in Jeffrey Manor. According to reports, around 8:34 p.m., Kristen was walking home from the store. Her 13-year-old son Dante was walking to meet her and accompanying her on the way home. They were close to meeting in the Manor Community Church lot when a black SUV rolled up and someone inside fired 28 shots at them. Dante was struck in the shoulder and Kristen was hit in the hip. Kristen was taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center where she passed away from her injuries. Dante was taken to Comer Children's Hospital and was expected to fully recover. Kristen was the mother of 3 sons, the youngest of which was 4 years old. Kristen was supposed to turn 42 on Christmas Day. She was remembered as a great mother who always tried to put her sons on the right path.
Like I said, I can't believe my family is part of this circle of violence that you actually standing here talking to me. He said he was telling her, to hold, breathe. He's the one who called 911. Like any other son, he came out to meet his mom halfway. Some cowards came in between them for no reason. They shot at him 28 times. I was told that my nephew was okay, so, I thought everything was okay. We went to the hospital to see about him. And literally 10 feet before I get in the hospital at Comer's, I get a call from her friend saying my sister was shot also. She was a great mother. Was always on her boys. Made sure they was on the right path. How you tell a 4-year-old? They won't go and answer. You took somebody a lot of people love away from us for no.
Anyone with information on this or other Chicago crimes is asked to call 311 or leave an anonymous tip at cpdtip.com. 19-year-old Jaylen Lewis was charged on Thursday for the fatal shooting of a 64-year-old at the Green Lake Woods in Calumet City on Tuesday. Around 12:24 p.m., police responded to reports of shots fired in the woods. According to police, upon arrival, police saw a Chevy Malibu stuck in a brush attempting to reverse and observed Jaylen, who was driving, tossing out several items from the vehicle. They ordered him to exit the vehicle and he complied. Officers also found a 64-year-old man on the ground with multiple gunshot wounds. Upon arrival, an emergency medical team pronounced the man dead at the scene. Upon searching the area near Jaylen's vehicle, police found an unserialized weapon, or what is called a ghost gun, a gun magazine, and black backpack containing bags of marijuana. Jaylen was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. The 64-year-old man has not been identified other than he was from Lansing. On Tuesday, the owner of Jack's Carryout in Hammond was shot during an attempted robbery. Around 5:34 p.m., police responded to a call at the Jack's on the 6200 block of Kennedy. Police found the owner wounded by gunfire. The owner told police a man entered the store with a gun and demanded money. He attempted to fight off the man when the gun he was holding discharged, striking him. He was hit in the ankle by the gunfire. He was taken to an undisclosed area hospital for his injury. Anyone with information on this or other Hammond crimes can contact the Hammond Detective Bureau at 219-852-2906 or anonymously at 219-853-6487. A 14-year-old was shot in Jeffrey Manor on Friday. The preteen was driving a ride-sharing bike on the 9900 block of South Yates around 2:15 p.m. Details are scarce, but according to reports, a group of people who were on foot seen the boy. Either an individual or multiple people in the group opened fire and struck the boy in the left foot and backside. He was taken to Comer Children's Hospital and last reported in good condition. A well-known man from Chicago's East Side, Alfonso Caceres, also known as Polly or Whoppers, was killed during the week in a hit and run. Around 5:35 p.m. on Sunday, 52-year-old Whoppers was crossing the street on 105th and Ewing. The dark-colored vehicle pictured here was traveling southbound when it made a left turn onto 105th and struck Whoppers. Whoppers was transported to an area hospital where he passed away from his injuries. Whoppers was well known on Chicago's Southeast Side and remembered on social media as a really nice, hardworking, and humble man who also loved art. Anyone with information on this or other vehicle accidents is asked to contact the Chicago Police Major Accident Investigation Unit at 312 745 4521 or leave an anonymous tip at cpdtip.com. An elderly man was struck by a vehicle on Commercial in South Chicago. On Saturday, around 1:55 p.m., the man was crossing 87th Commercial at the crosswalk. A dark-colored Ford pickup truck with possible silver-colored trim struck the man and kept driving. The vehicle was described as having a ladder, rack, chrome slider running boards, bull bars in the front of the vehicle, and a large, possible white-colored circular sticker on the tailgate on the passenger side. The victim was taken to an area hospital and last reported in critical condition. James Hill Jr. from Gary has won a verdict in a federal court against the Hammond Police Department. A federal jury awarded James $25 million in compensatory and $500,000 in punitive damages stemming from a case in the 80s. Now 59 years old, James spent 17 years incarcerated after being convicted of the rape and robbery of a Hammond gas station attendant in 1982. However, Hill's case was overturned in 1998 after it was revealed that evidence of allegations by a jail inmate which claimed another man committed the attack were never provided to the defense in the trial. This was the second time Hill had been exonerated in a case where potential evidence was withheld. Hill was also incarcerated for a time over the murder of off-duty Hammond police officer Larry Pochulik. In both cases, the Hammond Police Department under retired Captain Michael Sullen had violated the Brady Rule, which requires prosecutors to turn over evidence to the defense. The last day to file petitions for candidates seeking to be on the ballot for the February Chicago municipal elections has now passed. Candidates were required to turn in petitions for their name to be placed on the ballot for a chance to be elected on various seats on Chicago City Council, including the mayor. 11 people have filed the needed petitions for a shot at becoming Chicago's mayor. However, opponents can still file challenges to the validity of their petitions and get them removed from the ballot. The Board of Elections plans to certify the ballots and list of candidates towards the end of December. To win the election, a candidate must win more than 50% of the vote in the February election, and if no one wins 50%, the top two vote receivers will head to a special election runoff in April. The list of potential candidates joining the crowded field include incumbent Mayor Lori Lightfoot, Congressman Jesus Chuy Garcia, businessman Willie Wilson, Democratic State Representative Cam Buckner, Chicago Police Officer Frederick Collins, activist Jamal Green, Cook County Commissioner Brandon Johnson, 4th Ward Alderwoman Sophia King, 6th Ward Alderman Roderick Sawyer, former Chicago Public School CEO Paul Vallis, and freelance counselor Johnny Legalbo. Chicago's 10th Ward, that represents most of the Southeast Side, including neighborhoods such as the East Side, Hegewisch, South Chicago, and parts of South Deering, 5 people have filed petitions to run for alderperson. These include former officer and attorney Jessica Venegas, Chicago police officer Peter Chico, labor and community activist Ana Guajardo, youth organizer Oscar Sanchez, and once secretary of the controversial former 10th Ward Alderman John Pope, Yesenia Carrion. In Chicago's 7th Ward, which includes South Shore, parts of South Chicago, South Deering, and Jeffrey Manor, 3 people have filed. These include incumbent Alderman Gregory Mitchell, Anthony Tony Blair, and entrepreneur and businesswoman Jocelyn Floyd. In the 8th Ward, incumbent Alderwoman Michelle Harris is facing challenges from tax professional Linda Hudson, the former Chief of Staff to Alderman David Moore, Sean Flynn, and Gino Young. And that ends our review for November 22nd through November 29th, 2022. Thank you for joining us for this review. Peace.
Take on more, but no cried out, my friends. The angel's got the key and you can't get in. I know it rain, you know it rain too long, all night long, rain all day, rain all night, rain, 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 children, rain, oh yes, didn't it, yes, didn't it, you know it, didn't it?